Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I want to talk a little bit about DICE's upcoming title, Battlefield 4. So before we get into that, I'm just quickly going to say that the gameplay you guys are seeing in the background right now is a pretty hectic clip. Driving around on Armored Kill in a tank destroyer, just ran over that Jeep to kill him. Didn't know that worked, and didn't do it on purpose either. But yeah, I just have a bunch of random clips here. This is obviously being the first one, and then I've got some close quarters, and then a fun game on one of the new endgame maps where I was flying around in a jet and a chopper, and then it is going to end with a pretty epic sniper spree. But hopefully you guys enjoy that. Now, as to the topic of Battlefield 4, I want to talk a little bit about what a lot of people are speculating about due to the short, like 30-second teaser trailers that they've shown. Obviously, on Thursday, I believe, the big DICE reveal of Battlefield 4 is going to happen, and we should have a lot more information then. But I just want to cover up what I think about a few of the things people have been saying, and then a suggestion I have for a possibility. And this here all pertains to naval warfare. Now, if you guys are fans of Battlefield and are following what DICE is doing here with Battlefield 4, you guys will have seen the three short little teaser trailers, one of which was a chopper, just the blade spinning on that. Then you had the tread of a tank spinning, and also the one that's causing the biggest amount of speculating is a propeller kind of deal. This propeller is underwater, meaning it is for a boat, whether it's a aircraft carrier or a submarine, unknown. But a lot of people are going and thinking that this may possibly mean, which it could, that there will be naval combat in the multiplayer of Battlefield 4. Now, first thing I want to say is that this early on, chances are everything we have seen is for campaign. They almost never start out with multiplayer reveals. That always comes a lot later, so chances are there's going to be something that has to do with some kind of naval combat. Maybe you're on a submarine or something for one of the campaign missions in Battlefield 4. So I wouldn't jump right away and just assume that we are going to have some naval combat in multiplayer. But also, when you think about it, how would naval combat in multiplayer work? And that's kind of what I want to talk about. And I'm not saying there is going to be, I'm not going to get into the speculating and get all hyped up for something that may not actually happen. So basically, throughout Battlefield 3, we've gotten all these wonderful DLCs, and all of them have added game modes. You've got Capture the Flag, Tank Superiority, a bunch of which are centered around the Conquest game mode, like Conquest Domination. Capture the Flag isn't as much. Scavenger, though, is, and Tank Superiority also has a capture point, all that good old stuff. Air Superiority now with Endgame. And all these things, some of them have been successful, some haven't. A lot of people still play close quarters, not so much playing scavenger. Gunmaster's one of the ones that kind of fell off the face of the earth. Now, when you're talking about naval combat, what exactly are we saying here? There's multiple things that it could be. It could be, for example, everyone's in ships going around like that. I don't personally see that working all that well. I feel like it would end up a lot like Tank Superiority did, where it's fun at first, everyone's flying around in these boats, and then pretty much it ends up with people with javelins, for example, just killing everything, as it has turned into in Tank Superiority. The conquest aspect might be a good idea, though, and that's sticking to the Battlefield roots there. So I don't know how they would do it, but one way that I thought might be interesting, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys now, would be, so you have several rush maps right now in Battlefield 3 where you start out in an aircraft carrier, Carg Island, Noshar Canals, and I'm almost certain that there's one more, Wake Island, that is, yep. And then what if you took that and put that as the main base? So you have got this open naval map, maybe one small island, something like that. You've got the two aircraft carriers. You don't want to let each team be able to get anywhere near the other aircraft carrier to prevent spawn camping. And also, you want to give each team a ton of fast respawning the little, say for example, maybe like jet skis or the boats that we have, for example, in Battlefield 3. And then say you have 1 to 2, maybe 3 or 4 other ships in the center of the map. And each team starts out with conquest flags on each ship. So, there'd be 2 ships lined up. One would belong to one team, one the other. And then from there, you could have it so that people are spawning in these middle boats, but if their boat gets taken over, then they get the spawn point of their aircraft carrier. And also my thing for this is no anti-aircraft guns or any kind of turrets on the side of the boats in the middle so that people don't get, spawn trapped in their aircraft carrier and can't get out. I'd say a chopper might work well, maybe jets, but basically what you'd want is these boats in the middle, say they're battleship, destroyer, whatever they happen to be. They're really infantry focused, and you have to have it so that, using the frostbite destructibility, you can bust into the side of them, create multiple entrances. But the thing with ships is they've got these massive interiors, and that would be really fun kind of close quarters combat there. To be fighting on the inside of one of these ships with all these tangled up, corridors and that kind of stuff, trying to take over the other team's, ship. And I figured that might be a cool way to do it. Then you'd also get some of the longer range aspects, shooting from ship to ship on the decks. The decks are more wide open and all that good stuff. And then people, you might get some of the cool boat chases by, people having to get to these ships. They're going to be forced to get in some of the faster vehicles to zip around like that. And I feel like, the air forces could have a lot of fun fighting each other, wide open space, and the infantry wouldn't be forced to, pretty much submit to whoever has the biggest air power, because you can be fighting down inside of those ships, and it would be really cool to make use of some of the attachments that aren't really that useful if they are in the game. Like right now in Battlefield 3, say this game mode was in Battlefield 3, you've got the tack light. It was super overpowered at one point, blinded people, but right now it's not really used as a light all that much. Say you could knock out the power on one of these ships, and then there's all these dark corridors underneath, in the below decks of the ship. Tack light might be very useful there. Suppressors would be very useful in that kind of situation. I just thought that, that might be an interesting way to do it, because the Frostbite engine, especially now with the Battlefield 4 going to be on the upgraded consoles, they can crank that up and hopefully take more advantage of the destruction, because you need to have multiple ways for, say, like a rush game mode to get into these ships so it's not choke pointed. So maybe you could C4 in the side and get in that way, and it would just change the dynamic of the map. But if there is naval warfare, that is one way that I think it might work. Obviously, that's probably not what it is, and I still personally think, while it may be in multiplayer, chances are it's just going to be a campaign kind of deal. But, let me guys know what you think of that, or, if you guys have any ways you see naval warfare possibly happening in multiplayer, game modes centered around that, go ahead and put them in the comments. Thank you guys for that. And that's pretty much the end of my little idea there. Right now we're looking at my last 2 clips. This was a team deathmatch game I jumped into, just for the heck of it. Happened to be on Terran Highway. Long time since I played this map, and we were pinned back, sorry, and we couldn't really get out, and they had a ton of snipers. As you see, I'm shooting just a ton of snipers here, so I changed to sniper to start getting them out of there. Our team pushed up, got them back in this corner, and as they're coming around that corner, I am just shooting the crap out of them here with my Magnum and my J&G 90 rifle. But all good things come to an end when I try to go for too much there and end up dying. So fun little streak there. Then this last clip is just some more Magnum. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. What would you like to see in Battlefield 4? What wouldn't you like to see? Go ahead and put all of that in the comments and let me know what you think of my possible naval combat game mode. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time with more.